enough. Although M&M are pretty hard to kill with just a small number of Marines. This game, with Shelter Dragoons, this game is ridiculous at this point. More of Boxers, Marines coming out and pressuring Yellow. There are both of the teams, 3-on-3 madness here, and Boxer, of course, is just awesome enough to taunt people and play at the same time. NCL right now does not have much. I'm surprised that one of them did. NCL just didn't start getting cannons or something, just cannon up the middle of the map even. But there's a DT. All right, that is going to help greatly in Yellow's defense. And wow, this comms tech to DTs, I think may have been the winning factor here, because now the Terrans are pretty far behind. They've lost their armies and they're lost map control. It looks like the Protoss are just going to take the middle, possibly even expand if they'd like to. There's a bunch of Buy Babies units fleeing to the upper right. It does seem like they've lost map control, like I said. Buy Baby's trying to expand, though. And once again, Upmagic being clutch here with his Dragoons, his orange Dragoons. And wow, that is a lot of gateways. I'm not sure if this is big game hunters, actually, or not just plain hunters. It could be big game hunters. Not exactly sure. And I mean, certainly that's just as legit as hunters, or just as illegit if you want to put it that way. There is the DT getting scanned and killed. That's going to help a little bit. The Marines won't be as quickly killed. But it looks like Buy Baby is going to lose his front door, and the fact that all the Terrans went for basically rush builds, medic Marine builds, I think has cost them the game. The moment that their M&M rush failed to work, or their Marine rush failed to work against Yellow, basically none of them have tanks is the problem. There is a kind of a last-ditch effort there from Iris, who's got a small group. He's managed to kill once again that DT, but that small group in M&M is just trapped behind the mineral lines. I think the Terrans are done for. They definitely went for that early powerful Marine rush, and I really thought it would work out, but some really good Dragoon play stopped that from happening. Man, that one DT, okay, chopping up some units, and once again getting killed now. There is Calm, looking pretty good with his DTs. Basically, he's that guy on Hunters on that 3v3 who's just like, I'm going to tech, guys. You guys have fun for the first, like, 6 minutes. I'm going to tech. I'm going to tech. And he just techs. And, you know, he gets credit, but, you know, I don't really, you know, sometimes it's easier to be the guy who techs because everyone else is facing the burden of the early game attacks. And I gotta say, really, the MVP here is probably Upmagic, the orange player, with his nice save of NCL, although NCL has to be given credit too. There is probably a game-ending collection of units. By the way, of course, Buy Baby, the Crybaby, or I say that because of history, real history that has occurred. He has lost his base, and now Boxer's front door is about to be broken down. It does look like the Protosses are going to have the game, so certainly Protoss shows to me at least that they are very powerful against 3 Terrans also. There's NCL a little dissatisfied because Reach wasn't here, and Reach obviously would have single-handedly beaten everybody with 1 Zerg had he been the 7th player. That would have been very fun if he was 1 Zerg and like just no one could attack him for the first 5 minutes. All of a sudden there's like 50, literally 50 Guardians and some like Nidus Worms. Like, he is so good, he gets StarCraft 2 units. That's right, and he's going to get some Nidus Worms, and he's going to get some, what are those things called again? Whatever they're called, well, the Walking Queens on the ground. Let's not forget that. And just, it's going to be ridiculous. Oh man, some humiliation here, coming the way of, I believe, some Nexuses being built by one of the players. And there is NCL going to practice his Reaver drops. Oh, but he's going to dud. NCL fails. Boxer's like LOL Korean. Why are they showing NCL's lips? That is a crazy close-up of his facial hair. And I think Iris is going to just fight to the end here. Oh, is that going to be another dud? Oh, finally, NCL manages to kill some of Boxer's SCVs with a Reaver. That's something you do not see every day. Boxer's like ... Yeah, so I think the Terrans here made a good fight early on. And I just think the defense was better for the Protoss. Also, certainly it helped that... I mean, basically, because the Terrans all rushed, none of them went for any kind of mech units. I mean, Vulture Mines and tanks are critical, obviously, against any kind of Protoss build in the mid-game, and none of the 3 players had it. So here it is, going to be the end of the game. Wow, that is a lot of Dragoons from Upmagic. He's basically the guy who's like, I'm going to build lots of units, and NCL is like, I'm going to try to survive. You guys all know what I'm talking about, those of you who've played at all on Battle.net. When you try to play these games, they're pretty much like this, except of course with idiots instead of smart players. and players like who would not be able to survive against that Marine Rush like this Protoss team did. Oh man, some creative little drops here. Uh-oh. Mass pylons coming from, oh, it's NC Yellow who's the BM. Nice. Of course, NC Yellow, the Manzurg himself, who's recently beaten Bisu in an awesome game. You should all check out Bisu versus NC Yellow. One of the greatest surprises ever, but look at that. Somebody has some fire bats there. I think that's Boxer's fire bats. Those are Boxer's fire bats coming off Yellow's probes. Yellow is busy building pylons. I don't know what he's trying to write, maybe a spade symbol or something. That's what it looks like. There is the quote-unquote coach of Passion, Team Passion, team number 2. I forgot which team's coach he is. Maybe SK Team 1's or maybe the other teams. Not sure. I could look it up. Uh-oh. Looks like some Reaver Micro is going to take care of Boxer's units. And obviously, they're just having fun at this point, goofing off. And they have the right to. There's Jadong. He wants a piece of this action. Unfortunately, he's going to have to play one-on-one instead. That's boring, I mean, compared to this, to be absolutely honest. Hyra is still going crazy, and scouts are going to be coming almost certainly here from Upmagic. That's just awesome. But I still have to say, Reach, he would be at the 3 o'clock location with a lot of Guardians and infested Terrans at this point. That girl is hot, even though she's about 10 also. Never mind, so she can't be hot. Oh, wow, look at this. NC Yellow has found himself an alternate supply of resources inside of Boxer's base. Of course, he's actually using those Nexuses. I don't know what the Terrans are doing staying in the game, but they are staying in. This is really like a Ballad.net game where they're like, I'm going to hide some buildings for you, and you're going to have to get scouts. And in fact, that is what's going to happen. I wish I could read the Korean. I'm going to take a look at just the matchups for a second now that this game is pretty much over. And since I can't read Korean, I don't know what the hilariousness is about. Oh, okay, GG actually coming from the Terran team, initiated by Boxer, of course. He is going to be playing NC Yellow in a 1v1 game, so that perhaps is what they were talking about. We're going to see that, and just well, actually, you're not going to see it done by me. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to upload that in a few days. But you can check out Diggity's account for that in just a few minutes, probably. And this has certainly been a fun start. Next comes the relay match, though. And by the way, Team Passion is coached by Cho Jung Woon of Hwasun Oz, and so that was the coach we saw. And Coach Park Yoon Woon is going to be the coach for SKT. Park Yoon Woon sounds pretty familiar. I think, is that I Love Uv? I am not sure. I'm going to look up the name just now. No, it's not actually, unfortunately. It is someone called Park Yoon Woon. Yoongun. All right, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. We're moving on now. Oh, yeah, there's the SKT1 coach, of course. He is just the SKT1 coach. That's all we know him as. But certainly, I'm looking forward to the next game.